Okay.
Going live.
Here we are.
Here
What's up, everybody?
Is there,
Here we are.
Hey, Obi, is there anything in your ear?
There is.
Or,
It's called an eardrum.
oh, is there sound? None of us have it, so we're trusting you.
Okay, well,
wholeheartedly.
and you know what? Here, let's put the comments on, so this way the audience can tell us if we've got that sound working today, guys. What do
Hey,
you think?
Jared. Hey, Kelly.
What do you think? We typically have morning show producer Kelly, morning show producer Chloe. See, we are watching. She typically is running this, so today I'm running it, and yeah, we've got sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything, so maybe.
Yep.
All right, so welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
What's up, family? So the last time that we talked, we were talking about the Super Bowl, which clearly here we are the following week after the Super Bowl. And I know that it's been a couple days, but you know what? That's actually afforded us all an opportunity to really get to learn what exactly we're celebrating in this guy, Tom Brady and the Bucks. And it's been fantastic to see the parade party on the water that happened yesterday. Gronk was here at Disney just 3 days ago. And that's pretty cool. There's like a close connection. I don't know.
I'm still on the funny videos from yesterday's boat parade and watching Gronk dance like a fool, which he dances like that when he's sober. But they were all over the place. Brady has now tweeted and retweeted the video of him walking like Weekend at Bernie's.
You gotta own
Have
it.
you guys ever gone to one of the parades? Because I went when the Patriots won the very first year in 2001. I actually skipped school and watched Tom Brady win the first Super Bowl in that parade. And then 2 years ago, when they won and they beat the Atlanta Falcons in ridiculous fashion, I went to Disney and saw Julian Edelman and Tom Brady there. Had you guys ever seen anything like that?
Yeah.
You ever actually see it in person?
I skipped school at 15 too when the Bucks won the last Super Bowl, the last time they were there. But going to Disney and that parade is tame compared to what this was yesterday. We were talking about a parade on the water. And if you take Floridians, you put them on their boats on the water, y'all know how that's going to come out.
Well, and because Ashley had shared the original tweet on her Facebook page, and one of her friends had said like, oh, you know, he probably doesn't have a drink all season long just to keep his body like good to go for all the games. I said, if that's the case, he probably only had one drink, and that's
for real.
Like
that's we say he had one beer. That was all off of one beer.
He's walking around like, yeah.
I wonder if he's for real though. He said nothing to see here, just a little avocado tequila, which makes perfect sense. If Tom Brady is going to drink something, right? It's probably organic. It's probably super clean, clear, good stuff. He's not like taking down a natty light.
Well, and okay, so anybody who's going to go out there and do any sort of training with an actual trainer, they're going to tell you need certain cheat days. Like every once in a while, you need to reward yourself. And this dude, if it's one day a year.
Yeah.
The day after he wins the Super Bowl every year. It happens every year.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what footage we're talking about, you're even going to see footage of Tom Brady on his brand new yacht, which, by the way, is gorgeous. And he's tossing the Lombardi Trophy from one boat to another boat. Now, mind you, it's Gronk on the other boat, and they're professionals at this.
I thought it was a fan. I thought he was literally like, "Here's the trophy."
That's what I thought too.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I was like, "Whose boat is he throwing that on?" But to know that it's another player,
That's
not only another player,
obviously,
that caught two Super Bowl wins.
It's on TV as we speak on the Today Show, national news.
Even the toss that we're talking about. See, so it's going to be something that's talked about.
So that's Gronk right there holding it, or
no? That's not.
No, the guy in the red shirt.
So is this just a fan then, or just other players maybe?
So that's Tom Brady.
So this is.
I know that. Thank you. But that looks like a boat of fans.
So if you're listening to this podcast, then what we're going over is the Super Bowl. We're just trying to recelebrate. We're trying to recalibrate because this is the last conversation that we had. So Slater, congratulations on your dude.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, you've been a fan of his since the get.
Yeah, it's.
He also was very, very upset that.
Don't bring this up again.
That he texted me the day of the Super Bowl saying that if MVP was Tom Brady, he had already had reservations for Disney because those are hard to get. He wanted to be at the parade. Then he said he was calling in sick to work. He was going to be there. And then also within like 5 minutes got a thing on the news or whatever that said the MVP was not going to Disney. I was like, okay, dang it, I'm upset, but whatever.
Do you guys know that? Like they said they wanted to make sure that people didn't swarm the place. So they said, no, it's not going to happen this year. And then all of a sudden.
No, it still did not happen because Gronk was not the MVP. Gronk was there. And he got
Right.
so upset. He thinks the media lied to him. He
Media
thinks
did lie.
he was
Media.
so mad that he was
Do you
not.
guys get upset when they say the media lies? Like with the whole COVID-19 thing the last year. I used to take offense to it. Now I do think the media lies.
Well,
I
and
think
it's funny
they're full
because
of liars.
even though we are media, we're not that type of media.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're not gonna try and tell you some news stories true.
we
or
don't lie,
real
but the
or-
rest of them do.
for
All
real
right.
when it talks to real conversations.
All right, so I'm gonna move this along to the topic at hand. Okay, so we put that Valentine's Day is on the chopping block in this conversation, and we would love for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, your comments. We're able to see them in here, and I want to be able to throw them on the screen. So please be clean. But let's talk about Valentine's Day because we were in here discussing this week, obviously, some of the deals that are out there, some of the ideas as to what to get your lover for the big day. And then we had a portion of our listening audience that was like, man, Valentine's Day, I'm not in it. My husband and I, we don't celebrate it. It should not be a day to be celebrated.
No. Well, and it's funny. I saw my dad shared a meme this morning saying my wife and I exchange Valentine's cards
in the store.
and then put them back on the shelf. But that's a joke. My dad definitely gives my mom roses.
I mean, honestly, though, even if it's not a joke, it's genius.
I know.
Okay, am I the only one in here that feels like us guys? I know that it should be every day. It should be every day. But let's face it, we don't even gift each other gifts the way that we should Christmas. Christmas should be every day, right? But I do feel like we need to put some sort of effort.
I'm
sort
with
of
you
effort.
on the everyday thing. I don't know, Slater and Melissa, how you guys feel about it, but I don't take the pressure from being a Hallmark holiday. I'm not like, oh, I have to do it because it's a Valentine's Day.
Right.
I more so, I love it. I want to do something. Like I want to go to dinner or something. It's a reason for me to get out.
I think more so, which I think me and Obi were conversing a little bit about this, was that women want to be, all the time. Like again, every day women would like to have, little things here and there that make it known that their significant other is thinking about them. But Valentine's Day is the day we don't have to ask for it. It should just be happening. Whereas every other day of the year, we have to sometimes, give little hints like, hey, can you do the dishes for me? I worked really hard today. Or, hey, can you make dinner tonight? Or, hey, can you pick up dinner? Can you take me to dinner? Valentine's Day, we don't have to ask. It's just known that it should be done.
But I think it's more of a pressure for guys. Like you girls don't feel pressure that you have to do something for your guy, right?
I do.
Yeah,
You do?
it's
Yeah.
mutual. But also, I think women think of it year round.
Yeah. And so I got to call out Christy real quick. And this is not personal, but the statement, we don't celebrate either. You should show your love every day, not just because it's a day of the year. I think that statement, and that's not you, Christy, is so BS. I'm sorry. I love my husband every day of the year. Like I don't come out and make a Facebook post every single day. He knows it. That statement is like, I don't know. I feel like that's a blanket statement.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm with you, and as I see the comments coming in, like there's a lot of I hate Valentine's. There's a lot of we don't do anything, we don't celebrate it. Okay, so I want to speak to that audience really quickly, just because it's obviously something that's top of mind for these individuals. Maybe you said it best. You said Hallmark holiday. I think that's where we've kind of gotten it all screwed.
Yeah, from
screwed
listeners
up.
and stuff. That
That it's got to be this pink box of chocolates, and whatnot. But okay, so let's talk about other ways that we could show love on Valentine's, because you don't want to go all of Valentine's and just be like, honey, I love you, right? Okay,
we got an understanding.
enough said. Yep. Enough blinks to each other.
He's
And
like,
that's,
don't I put a roof over your head? He's like, good.
Isn't that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so only from what I know from movies, TV, and then of course a couple of the relationships that I've had before my wife, is that deep down inside, you want there to be something, at least a note, at least a sandwich bought for lunch, something.
So you're saying
something.
even if she says, don't get me anything.
Yeah, even if she says
women
don't get me
really want
anything. Hey, and I get it. You're tough. I get it. You're independent, but that's not what it's about. What it's about is that guy. There should be a little effort.
I feel like you're letting them off easy. It's not like you have to go buy $1 million gift. It could be something that's free.
Yeah, you can literally write on a piece of paper, this is a coupon for one back massage. Here you go. Like you can.
Unless you get really crappy back massages, your hands are all cut up from manual labor, and you're like, oh.
And I don't know
I
why.
work with concrete.
I don't know why that statement makes me so worked up. Like my husband's my Valentine all year long, not just one day. So is mine. No one's saying they're not any of the other days. It's just another day to show a little more love. Like nobody's saying you have to do anything special, but
I mean,
So
I would
Obi's-
like to meet the one person who says, I don't love my husband other days except for Valentine's
Exactly.
Day."
Valentine's Day is actually the only day we love each other.
So I expect something that day for sure.
But I do love Shannon, your comment here that says, even if it's just one day that I don't have to cook. And I get that.
Yes.
And you know what?
Ooh.
Okay, so hold on. Let's take a little segue because we just had Shantala on the air this week. She's now featured on our Unfiltered podcast where she was speaking about the 5 love languages, which is a very popular book, philosophy out there that everybody has a language that speaks to them. For me in particular, like I don't really need gifts, but words of affirmation go a long way for me. For my wife, it's service. It's the acts of service. So I said this on the air that if I wash the dishes and I'm talking about if I do it on my own,
Without her asking.
she's all sorts of impressed. I mean, I might as well have bought her a gift.
Sure.
So my husband, this was like probably 3 years ago. We had coupons to McDonald's for free breakfast. We each had one, or we each had 2. And I used mine. He still had 2. And I like kept saying, oh, come on, give me one of yours. I already used my 2. And so he actually gave me one and put a little sticky note on it. Left after he told me he wasn't giving them to me as a joke. He left it on the counter. He went to work. He left a little note that said, for your breakfast with a heart. I did not spend it. I have it in my wallet still, even though I wanted it because it meant so much to me
Damn.
that he gave me that coupon, even though I wanted it for breakfast. The fact that he wrote a little heart note on it, like I still have it in my wallet. I never spent it.
You know what they'll do at McDonald's? They'll stamp it, say that it was used, and give it back to you. So you
just keep it.
you're really screwed up. You
No.
could have got that sandwich.
It's just the point of it is like it doesn't take much for somebody to
True.
make us happy. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, a big act. It's literally something as small as, yes, this was mine, but I know you want it more, so I'm going to give it to you because your breakfast is more important than mine, or something like that. I don't know.
And
Okay.
I think that's why women sometimes do, because grand scheme of things, conversations in life, they always say women are more organized, women are more thoughtful, women have these things,
Amen.
right? Like Obi's even said that to me. He's like, girls are just this way, women are just more that way. So when we hear those things, I think when a man does do something, even in the slightest bit, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Ashley, perfect example. Me and Ashley, when Obi was out of town one night, I was working the morning show with her, and her husband changed a photo on his Facebook page to a picture of the 2 of them, and she went, "Oh my gosh!" Like she was so happy, and I was like, "I get it, 100%." If my husband made like me and him his background, immediately we're just like, "Oh my God, they love us."
Well, have you thought about that? Like, I would never say to my husband to change his picture to never. That's like that's your thing, but the fact that he did it on his own, or like when you guys come up
God.
with stuff on your own.
Imagine he cropped you out.
Hey, you guys, we're learning you. We're learning you up right now, okay? We're learning
It's like,
you
dang, I
up.
look good in that.
So I love it because this took a beautiful pivot because y'all are right when it comes to like the hallmarkiness of having to buy the balloons and everything, having to buy like this mixture. It's got to be the perfect combination, right? It can't just be the flowers. It's got to be the chocolates, the flowers, and the balloons. Well, whatever it is to you. We just took a nice little pivot because because we're hearing that it doesn't require all that. So with this, because I know our cast, I'm going to put Slater right now on the improv chopping block because we've talked about Valentine's past, and you've always got unique ideas like that can go a long way and don't do any damage on the wallet.
Yes. Are you talking about when I would write the messages and the cards?
Yeah, you've got
Which
to.
one?
So
Yeah.
So go ahead. So you've got the one thing where you did the multiple cards, but even each card itself can be an idea.
So I do it anyway, and I think guys should go to Dollar Tree, okay, and pick up a ton of cards for like every holiday, and then write a special memory that you have, like your take of why going out to dinner is special, or your first date, something that if you're the type of guy that doesn't share anything, and I'm just talking to the guys, I mean the 2 ladies in here can speak to if you got your guy's perspective on something that you did with him and like a big thank you, that would probably mean a lot. And I do that not only for Valentine's, I also do that for birthdays. Now, like my father is like, I don't think he actually told me he loved me until I was like, well, like from the ages of 6 to 18, maybe once. His thing was, oh, I'll coach your baseball, da da da. But since I turned 20, I started writing memories of like, hey, remember that time we went out for ice cream? It was special because of this. And my father has opened up, and now emotionally he's more connected. And he thanked me like
Wow.
through the last 6 months. He thanked me. He's like,
Wow.
I hope you know like what that actually means. And he's actually opened up.
Wow.
So, and if you go to Dollar Tree, you can get like 3 cards for $1. like the ones that just say like thinking of you or whatever, and then you just fill every single square inch of that or as much as you need with that.
So how long have you been doing this?
Decades. I've been doing this quite a while.
Decades.
It's interesting
Multiple
that I've never
decades.
received a card. Have you guys gotten a card from Slater about memories? No?
I think
Okay, just wondering.
I'm just curious. Whatever.
He gives it to the people that he
I
like
just-
really
yeah.
loves.
The people that I know would appreciate.
You
That's
know,
super
No, that is
thoughtful, though.
awesome. No, and it's cool that, like you said, you've changed kind of how your father. Not that, like you said, it's not that he didn't show love because he coached your baseball games and whatever. He just never spoke it, which
Right.
means his love language
Totally.
was just not words, you know.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that
Mm.
yours were, and that showed him how to like kind of change the way he shows you love based on how you receive it.
Yeah, my love language is cheap. That's what.
I thought you were gonna- I honestly thought you were going to say cheese.
No.
I was like, mine too.
That is interesting that you bring it up though, because obviously your love language might not be that, right? Is that what yours is, Slater? Do you
No.
like receiving gifts? Do you like receiving the words of
Mine's
affirmation?
physical touch and words of affirmation. So that's
I think those are
that's
mine
what
too.
mine are. But it's important to also know, as you guys know from the interview you did that's on the Unfiltered podcast, that a lot of people, what they do wrong is they think, well, I like to be touched. My partner likes to be touched too. And that's not the case.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Nope.
And I honestly, I think that's what failed in my last relationship was I don't think I paid enough attention to what hers was. Because I think hers was probably gifts or acts of service. And I thought they were the same as mine and didn't pay attention just because I never actually read the book.
Right?
It just kind of came on the last year and a half where it was
Yeah.
actually a thing that us guys were like, oh, what is this?
well,
What
and
are the love
girls,
languages?
I think women, and obviously depending on how far deep you go down, like types of therapy and whatnot, and that becoming a thing the last few years, that people will talk about it. Because even we talked about on the morning show this week, before Matt and I got married, the love languages was part of a course that we did. So we refer back to it
Mm.
all the time. And it was like a course that I was like, I wanted to do because we weren't getting married in church. We didn't have that meeting, the
Pre-cana.
pre-course. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. And so I'm like, well, we have to do something to have a good foundation. And we still go back to it all the time. And it's the love languages. And he has literally, I've seen in his office drawer, the note still pulled out where it says like my top two, the most important things that are important to me, which are like the affirmation, the being touched, which is just like more of like a physical action.
Yeah,
like,
holding hands.
yeah, coming up to me out of
Cuddling and-
nowhere and making out with me hardcore, you know?
In public, you know,
Gross.
where everyone can see.
Gross.
Totally kidding.
I will say this though, that even though for women it's like, okay, so mine's not touch or anything like that, but for guys that's just it always kind of leads to that for us sometimes.
But so Obie and Slater, it's interesting that you guys will talk about it. We're kind of in a industry and in a relationship and friendship that we talk about this stuff. A lot of guys don't want to acknowledge those feelings or want to acknowledge they need to work on things, or I feel like women are definitely more in tune with that, right? Not all. I don't want to categorize everybody, but talking about it is like, whoa, what is that all
Yeah.
about?
Talking about like the love language things and or figuring out that you
Yeah,
need to work
like
on
your
certain
feelings,
things.
your
Yeah.
feelings.
I mean, Obi and I are a different breed. Like the room that we're in right now, how many times have you and I cried the last 4 years in here in the morning? Like many times.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like we're very in
Many.
touch with our feelings.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Hold on.
Different story. That's why I said we're in a different friendship and industry.
Now everybody's like, what are you fellas crying about in there?
Obi's like, Obi's like, it's just a video of a dog finding its owner after 2 years. It's okay.
You know.
No.
I think actually we cried after the Lion King real life, right? Didn't we talk about the Lion King that they made 2 years ago? How emotional that actually was.
Yeah, but I don't think we were in the studio together talking about it and crying about it afterwards.
You
In
watched
my
it with your
head, we
kids.
were.
Okay, so one thing that's fun about this being a cast, and we say this all the time. Ashley's already said that we're close enough friends that we could have conversations like this. You just heard Slater admit that he and I have cried in the studio together, but that's because this is like family. So Slater and I have had some really great deep conversations about what this gig means every single time we talk about stuff like this. Listen, you just opened up about something. There are people legit watching that are like 5 love languages. Love languages. What the hell are you guys talking about? And there is somebody right now that's like, oh my God, I've never thought of how my partner loves to be expressed love to. And so we're like doing a service. So there is some times when we get together as a cast and we're like, man, this is where being a fun entertainment person turns into, we're really like doing some really good influence.
And you don't actually have to read the book, by the way. Somebody wrote an article. I just Googled it, and then it was like, so it was short and
true.
Well,
condensed.
and also one thing that I learned too through the love language thing is, yes. So like Ashley, you were saying yours is words of affirmation and touch.
Mhm.
So what I learned too is, because me and my husband have complete opposite love languages. I'm gifts and acts of service, and his is quality time and touch. So it's like more so of when he wants to spend quality time with me, instead of me going, well, why aren't you like, I look for him to try and match my love languages of like, I receive love by gifts. So why aren't you buying me gifts? I need to look at it as too, like when he wants to spend quality time with me, that's him also showing me, even though it's not how I receive love, it's how he gives it. So I just need to sometimes acknowledge that.
Right.
So that's one thing I learned too, is like, don't always just look for your love languages and the other person trying to match you. Like also look how they receive love. And if they're doing that to you, that's their way of showing too that they love you out of their love language.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you talked about how your dad, he would step up to help coach and step up to do those things. Man, that brings such a beautiful picture of, yeah, you're right. How many dads are afraid to say I love you or give a hug or cry about talking something deep?
Yeah.
But the way that they show their love is by, hey, I helped, and by the way, I bought you lunch. There you go.
So it's like them,
and you're like, man, okay, so that's the way he's been showing love all these years.
And so sometimes you want them to put in the effort to match your love language, but at the same time you have to acknowledge when they're giving it their way, at the same time.
Yeah. It's like a whole therapy thing.
I was just about to say, everyone watching, that's going to be $100 a pop for the hour. All of the relationships.
Alicia asked if it was a book, but yeah, if you literally Google the love languages, you'll find so much information. And there's like even a quiz you could take really quick. I think it's like a 10-minute thing online.
So Peggy said, my husband's love language is food. He loves to feed me like it's an open audition for my
nice.
Peggy, that also means like, you say his love language is food. So it's actually probably acts of service because you're making food for him. So also like, other things that don't involve food, it's just the acts of service of you doing something for him.
Now don't let him fool you and be like, my love language is when you cook.
And
You know what? It's funny because so I've only seen a couple of episodes of My 600-Pound Life, and one of them that I can remember, the poor woman's husband. The poor woman's husband was like super encouraging it. He was like, "I love my lady big. I love," and like rubbing on her belly, and she was like, "That's what he likes." And I was like, So love languages.
I'm glad you brought that up.
It did. I had to get it out.
Peggy says, he cooks for her.
Oh, so okay, so
I like that.
yeah.
So he must like to be able to gift you things. That's like another. That's another lane. Another story.
So back to the original point. Are you doing anything for Erica for Valentine's Day?
Okay. Good question. Okay. So what I thought to myself was, because now we got the kids too, with my daughters both being 10 and 8, like I have to get them stuff too. And I told the wife, I said, right now we're kind of, we're kind of even with funds right now. And I said, instead of buying everybody Valentine's gifts, can I just do an edible arrangement?
Oh, you started with edible, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, where we going?
Yeah.
But for $65, and I get it, that's a lot of money. But if I'm knocking 3 birds out with this one gift, then I can do the edible arrangements, get them to chocolate dip some of that, right? And give them to my girls and be like, look, it's a gift for everybody.
Did you order it already?
No.
You better get on that.
I know.
We're actually just wait till the day after Valentine's Day. It'll be a lot cheaper.
Done, man. The
I mean,
CVS deals are cush.
The candy that goes on sale.
And then what I could do is I could tell them, I could be like, how dare they? It was supposed to come this morning.
It's late.
I'm gonna have a talk with them. You better believe we're gonna get that.
He calls them. He's like, hey, thank you.
Yeah. You guys are the best. You said 25% off
tomorrow. Great. Are you doing anything for Steve?
I almost showed up with a dog.
Oh, wait, does he know this?
No,
story?
yeah, it was gonna be bad, so it's not happening.
Ooh.
But no, like there's some other situations as to why it couldn't happen. But I was gonna adopt a dog, and he was not for it. And I've learned through my mom and other people that sometimes you just have to show up with the dog, and then the husbands like it. You know, they end up liking it after.
I think
a
they
while.
learn to like it.
They learn
That's
to
what
like
you're.
it, but you're never gonna get, you know, the dog if you try and have a conversation and it just. But
Yeah.
again, I was gonna do that. Other things came into play where it wasn't gonna be possible right now, but that was not gonna be good.
So you're
I don't-
doing
his is
nothing.
not-
Sounds like you're doing
His is
nothing.
not gifts. His love language is not gifts or surprises. So
Yeah.
Surprises. I hate surprises.
Mm-mm.
Slater has a date on Valentine's Day, so that's happening for him.
Whoa, whoa.
First date, which I guess we can get some information from our listeners here.
Well, I like
if a
Rita
first
here.
date-
So Rita just dropped this in the chat. This is for the guys. Do you like to receive flowers? You know what? No, I always feel awkward.
Yeah,
I
I'm
always
good.
feel awkward because I'm like, they're nice. Where do I
When?
put these?
Okay, that's funny.
Unless they're on the bed. If they're just the rose petals,
Petals?
right on the bed, because there's a bit of a sensualness to it.
That's not flowers though; those are rose.
Wait,
petals. Those are
first of
petals.
all, okay, so I appreciate Rita's comment, but when have you ever received them, like directly to you? For what reason?
Yeah, I don't know. if I've
Usually a
ever-
death.
So how do you know how you feel? About
Usually
it?
somebody dies and they're like, "Hey, sorry, grandma's dead.
Yeah,
Here's a flower."
right. That makes sense.
or like a wedding reception. All right, wedding's over. Please take the flowers at the.
That's funny
but
you asked this, Rita, about because one of our coworkers yesterday posted that his friend sent him this. There's nothing wrong with buying flowers for your homies. This was something real, which is so funny why you asked this.
Flowers for your homies. It doesn't even sound right.
And so his buddy, he had commented back on his buddy's Instagram, and the dude ended up sending him flowers. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with these flowers?
See?
Literally at his house.
Now, okay, so I know that our chat is overrun by beautiful women. Ladies, we love you. I wish we had more guys in there to kind of either back us up or say you're half. I mean, do you like flowers? I hear what you're saying about the rose petals in the bed, but I think even that I'd be like, honey, you murdered those roses.
You would, or you'd be like, "Who's cleaning this up?"
There's
What a
actually-
damn mess.
There's actually a company that you can buy roses from that can last all year, like 365
Yeah,
days.
they're so expensive.
They're very expensive. Because imagine if you bought flowers to keep them alive the whole year, like it would.
Wait a minute. What did
Actually,
you
the
say?
silk-
There is
What
a
did you say?
company. There's a company that you can buy roses from, and they stay alive for 365
That's
How
something
is that
Erica would
possible?
appreciate those. They're
Are
pricey.
they in soil? Are they
They're in a box, actually.
Are
they
I
in a
don't
material-
know
are they
if
in a
there's
material that feeds-
instructions on how to keep them alive?
There
Sounds
is
like
a
a
place-
poinsettia.
It's a
That's what it
place
sounds
here in
like.
Orlando too. That
Yeah, somebody
has
looked
them
that up
now.
while we're running the stream.
But like
so we
all
can-
the Instagram influencers and like even Brittany Aldean.
how
she's
much are we
posted-
talking? How much
I
are we
think like
talking?
$200 to $300 for like a good
For, like,
size.
yeah.
For roses that
But
last
they come.
a
They
year.
literally come where you can buy like 2 roses. You can buy 6 roses. You know,
I think you
can
go to
arrange
Hobby
it.
Lobby, right? And you just get the fake ones, and you say, "Oh, I spent $400 on these."
He
lot.
smelled dusty.
So okay, so Alan, oh wait a minute. So Alan says yes, they are beautiful. Are you saying yes, they're beautiful to you? Are a dude who
These
would
are what
accept
they
the
look
flowers?
like. Slater, can you see these? Have you seen these before?
Oh,
In the box.
I had. I
Four
haven't.
$400 for this little box.
How many? That's a
Yeah.
lot of roses. Though. How many are in there?
400
Look, sold
bucks.
out. There's a bunch that are sold out. That means people are buying them.
You know what, Ashley, you've got the company card. I say we do this as a test.
Yeah, right.
Do you? Do
Just
you?
buy one
No.
dozen for us to leave in here for an entire year.
That would be kind of cool.
So do they die 366th day?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like the
What do they
11th person in the
start-
room.
they
Everyone's
start
like,
to
"COVID."
wilt?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So okay. Man, that's interesting. Now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole to find out why. What are they feeding them that they last a year? What's the
I don't know.
guarantee on that?
Maybe
Let's
they're
see.
like partially fake and partially real.
About.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, because listen, just the same way we have some people who aren't going to do anything for Valentine's, we do have some viewers and some watchers and some listeners who go above and beyond. So to them, $400 is nothing. No, it's funny. Morning show producer Chloe, she's in this chat too.
Oh, hi. She's
she-
she's skiing. She's trying to snowboard. I saw some videos
Oh,
out
Yeah.
in Lake Tahoe.
So there are people who buying Super Bowl tickets is nothing to them. This is their
Oh, yeah.
their 14th year going. To some people, they have a dentist practice and they've got floor seats at the Magic game every year. So to them, a box of $400 roses that last a year, that's nothing. So anyways, I say that to say that we've got a good variety of people listening and watching. That as I go down the rabbit hole looking at these flowers, there may be somebody out there who's like,
Here you
"Yeah,
go,
I'll
Obi."
do that."
yeah.
It involves trimming the roses at the peak of their bloom and adding a trade secret solution to prevent any continued blooming. So it stops their growth. It's like
So
it's like
essentially, it's
an
preserving them.
opposite growth hormone, so they don't grow.
It's preserving them essentially.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. See,
And they'll
I'm
never tell you what secret it is that keeps them. That
Yeah,
way.
because then we'll start pumping it into our veins like the vaccine.
Yeah.
With
I wanna
oils and
stop
wax.
aging.
That is interesting.
So
I
I
never
wonder
looked
if
into
they
it.
smell, if they have a scent to them, since they're.
Right? You would
I
want
wouldn't
them to
think
have
so.
a fresh. I'm reading. Too much
So I
into
love
this.
Jen here. So Jen Lynn says, I love when my husband does something for me for Valentine's Day, but he hates Valentine's Day. I get that. I would rather get a potted plant for the yard and maybe go to dinner on a night other than Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll probably go like on Saturday night because Sundays always suck anyway. It's a school night basically, even when you're working.
Well, and I will say that I did start buying plants. Like I do like to buy the flowers too, but I do like plants because plants are something that's the gift that keeps on giving. Especially if you buy like a fruit tree. Man, there's a place
Yeah.
over in off of OBT. If you're headed out past the Popka, like towards Mount Dora, there's a place right off the side of the road. This is crazy local. So if you're somebody who's listening from out of state, just know that this is the beauty that Central Florida has to offer is that you could buy an apricot tree, a tangerine tree, those cuties that you buy, for $4 or $5 a bag. You could have those things growing in your backyard for $60.
Wow.
$60.
Nice.
The gift that keeps blooming every year. So that's
a good
turned
idea.
into an idea of ours. Okay, so we're rounding the corner at about 32 minutes here. I want to move it to another topic just really quickly because y'all, we do have some really great quality shows here. Ashley and myself just got nominated for an ACM award, and that's really, really, really cool. And of course, none of this is possible without you guys.
For real.
So at this time, though, I want to highlight on y'all's podcast. Let's put some gas to the pedal because you guys talk about some stuff that even Ashley and I wouldn't hit.
Well, that's what just came up about his Sunday thing.
Yeah. So we have a podcast that you can hear on the K92.3 app near where you find the Obie and Ashley Unfiltered. It's called Sipping on Sweet Tea, where, I don't know if it's more of a pop culture thing where people sip on tea, they're dishing the tea.
Yeah, sipping on tea. Yeah.
The good.
Gossiping,
Filling the tea
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
This the good.
So it's supposed to be like that. But Slater, we talk about recently, he is going on a date with my friend on Sunday. And I said, are you sure you want to go on a date? Because he is recently divorced. He did give the green light for me to plan it. But I was like, it's Valentine's Day. It was the first date on Valentine's Day.
You're planning his first date?
Yeah, because it's my friend.
Setting it up?
I was like, listen, I was like, it's the first time you've gone out on a date. I don't want you to have to worry about anything but showing up.
Well,
So
and
I'm
Slater's
And all I
Oh,
know
wait,
is that-
doesn't that give him a freebie? Like he needs to step it up.
A freebie? What does
He's
that
the
mean?
one having taking your friend out. Don't you want him
That's
to
true.
prove himself?
But the second date then is going to have a bar that's got a set that he's going to meet. So I'm just making sure my friend's taken care of. Too.
Well, and you know Slater better than anyone. You wouldn't set just anyone
guys,
up
I'm
with
really just making a
Slater.
reservation. I'm not driving.
Is
him
that
there.
it?
Are you
Not
nervous,
driving you
Slater?
Do I have to get her anything?
I mean, a flower would be nice. It is Valentine's
That's
Day.
flower.
true. Yeah.
One that lasts 365 days.
I
So if
think-
it doesn't work, she's constantly reminded of you.
You know what I'm gonna do? In like TV shows when it's a blind date, and I have seen her and she's seen me, but I should tell her, "Oh, wear a white carnation," or so I know it's you. Like one of those things. Like, you'll know it's me because I'll be wearing English leather.
Yeah.
Like the cologne.
I mean, let's be honest.
You know,
he's
the
going to be wearing a
musk?
shirt that says "I love Tom Brady." So
Nah.
Yeah. What are you
okay.
gonna wear?
Well, let's
I don't even
let's-
know where we're going. She's taking care of everything, so I don't even know. The
Okay, but
place.
let's talk about that first gift because that first impression that is a big deal. I mean, are you gonna? I do like the idea of the flower. I think flowers, so this way you don't look.
a first date on
I mean, when
Valentine's
did
Day.
people
It's a lot of
stop
pressure.
bringing flowers to a date. Like it's just Valentine's Day now. We're like usually that used to be a thing. I brought you
since
flowers on a date.
y'all women want it to be all tough and want it to be
Oh,
all
who's feeling
independent-
intimidated? Whoa, is
independent.
that
Sorry, I struck a
statement?
chord.
Whoa,
Sorry.
defensive. What's going on, Obi?
just saying.
Want
I'm
to
just
talk
saying.
deeper into this?
Just saying. Anyways, so are you doing flowers?
I
You doing
don't,
flowers?
I don't know.
Hey, bro, you and I,
really-
let's have a conversation off to the side. The ladies, they got off track.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, this was like 2 days
Weird.
ago that this
Oof.
came up, so
Felt that one.
it's kind of new into it. What are better, chocolates, flowers?
I mean,
I
it
don't
is
know her, so
Valentine's
I
Day,
can't.
so
I
a
can't
teddy
write
bear, chocolate, and flowers.
a
would be
teddy
great.
bear.
But you're gonna pay for dessert, right?
Oh,
I
I
was-
was-
I'm
I
not
was-
paying for the
I was
date.
planning on paying
Oh,
for.
I
I was planning on paying for the whole thing.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
I
a
think
good idea.
that's still.
Okay.
No,
I
you
mean-
can't be like, I'm just gonna get the dessert. You got the rest.
So
No.
this would be the first date that I'd gone on in over 10 years since I was with my ex for 10 years.
Wow.
That's a
Are
lot
you
of
nervous?
pressure.
So-
Like, are you nervous?
Not
Like,
really, because like I
You've got a
kinda
bit-
got
you've
the
got a better-
stuff, you know.
Let's be honest. You just trust me.
I got the and I don't think she's
True.
gonna
She
set me
shouldn't.
up to fail day one.
No,
you
I
know.
don't do that.
I was gonna say this, and I've given Slater this compliment before, where I've said, I don't know you from 10 years ago, but I know you today, and I can tell you that today you've got to be the best version of you that you've ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, your hair looks good, your
Oh,
face is
man.
on point, like you're, like,
I think
Yeah.
you're a nice person too, not just
Yeah.
on the outside.
Oh.
You know.
Well, that's good.
hey,
Yeah.
that's
It's-
not what.
Hey, we're superficial guys. Look at us.
That's not where I was going with that. You know where I was
Totally.
going with that, bro.
You
I'm just
are
saying,
kind heart.
Your game is at its peak. So
Nice.
dating should be different.
Yeah, no, I think it should be good. Usually, the gifts that I like giving are more thoughtful. But if you don't know the person, I don't
Yeah.
know how you're supposed to give a
That's
thoughtful
what
gift to
somebody
a
said
stranger.
in the comments. That don't do chocolate because you don't know what kind of chocolate or candy she likes.
Darla
Okay.
says teddy bears too soon.
What if
Okay.
she's allergic to flowers? Is she allergic to flowers?
That's a good point.
Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know.
If
You
she's
gotta
She's,
figure
allergic,
this
she's
out.
allergic to peanuts though. So
To do
watch
no
that.
peanut butter chocolate.
If
Okay.
you are
If there's a
allergic to
first kiss,
flowers,
no
are you
peanuts.
upset when you get them though? Like, especially if the dude doesn't know. Like,
No.
You can't be.
Yeah, you can't.
should be like, oh my god, you're so thoughtful. I can't touch them though.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know second date update. By the way, oh my god, I hope I'm not on second date update. As I'm starting this new world, the worst thing is that you guys will get a call, and then I'll be on the other line of the phone as you try to connect with me.
you have to let us
Wait,
know if
hold on,
these
hold on.
people don't get back to
Are
you.
you
though.
thinking? Are
Okay.
you thinking that you're gonna have to call
She's
somebody,
gonna
or that
ghost
somebody's
you?
gonna call them asking about you because you're ignoring?
Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't ghost them.
I'm not gonna be that guy, but sometimes you ladies want like immediate. I don't. This is a whole.
All
This is a
be
whole
careful
thing.
with what you're about to say. You're
This
sitting
is-
next to two women.
Instant
I know. I got a tap
gratification.
dance in here too, man.
I don't. I
No,
just.
you don't.
I don't know. I don't know because we sat in here and I was the one who fielded the emails and tried to put people back together with you guys for over 3 years. And there are some crazies out there.
Yeah.
And that part does scare me. I know what I'm going to bring to the table. It's fine, but I'm a little worried about the other
You're
side.
just assuming that this date is not going to work out, aren't you?
Not
I
this
am.
one.
I know.
Just in
I
general.
know that I'm a little picky because now that I have a daughter, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
You know the Brett Young song "Lady."
Yeah.
Like that song that he wrote about. He's talking to his daughter, saying, "I want you to grow up to be your mom." Now, Olivia's mom is absolutely great, but also she's only 2.5. So whoever it is going to be the female figure that she's going to know essentially her entire life. So I'm going to want to make sure
Heck
that
yeah.
that person
Yeah.
is perfect
Absolutely.
and be
Damn.
that second most important female in my daughter's life.
Damn, bro. I
So-
think you
Now
won
I'm really
me
feeling the
over.
pressure. My pits are
Mm.
sweating. I'm just
Yeah. Especially now when it's dripping.
Get outta here.
But again, let's hit that podcast again because you guys afford our listeners some really great insight, some really great perspective, and I want to make sure that we give it enough love.
Thanks. It is the Sippin' on Sweet Tea podcast. It comes out every Wednesday-ish, sometimes Thursday, depending on how busy I am. But every Wednesday or Thursday.
It is,
On the app.
and if this audio is just being released, Melissa's pit really isn't leaking. It's not really dripping. I just because on the video they could see that I was joshing, but
Oh yeah, but people are listening. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it is true. Somebody from France right now. What is wrong with her?
I know.
Is
Is
everything
that
okay?
normal?
they were probably getting aroused.
Somebody should
Oh,
admit-
I love American women.
The French ladies really not shave their pits like in Home Alone. You know,
I'm
they
pretty
say
sure,
like
yeah,
maybe in
European?
the summer they don't, right?
to a point.
I mean, let's be honest. Women don't shave their legs here in America during the wintertime.
That's true. Or
That's
during
how it
COVID. Or COVID, apparently.
Is this a known thing?
Trust me.
I've seen
Women that
women
wear
with
jeans
means.
throughout the entire, like if they're wearing jeans for a whole season, they're not shaving their
Mm.
legs.
You're like, hey, sweet jeans. She's like, I'm wearing shorts.
You paint those on?
Oh man. All right. Okay. So we're coming up on the 40-minute mark. Teresa, thank you for being in here. Ambria, thank you for being in here. Shannon, Elise, everyone's contributing to the conversations and we really appreciate it. I'll do another kind of just like a check-in with everybody who's listening to us via podcast as well, that on Thursdays, we afford ourselves this opportunity every 11 o'clock. So if you can imagine, it's almost therapy for us as well, because this is the whole cast of the on-air crew here at K92.3, which is one of the big stations here in the United States of America, especially when it comes to country music. So what?
Oh, I just want to point out too, anyone who watches these after they're live, Obi also puts them on Instagram, IGTV. So if you miss them live, you can watch them on Facebook, Instagram, or he uploads them to the Obi and Ashley Unfiltered.
Sherry wants to know what this tree place is again.
I put it in the chat. Hold on, I've got it open. So it's called Pokies.
That's it? Is that it?
Pokies.
I had to take a moment just because, you know,
wait, what is
Pokies.
Why are what happened with the tree place?
Pokies Citrus Nursery, and
yes.
it's in Zellwood. So if you're looking for it, it's in Zellwood, Florida. It's got 4.8 star ratings. We've probably ourselves purchased about 3 different trees from them, and all 3 trees fruited for us, one of which was a peach tree. So if you're listening to us from Georgia, here in Florida, we can't really grow peaches. Well, hold on. Let me not say that, because I think UCF came up with a way to grow peaches. But nevertheless, so we've got a peach tree, and that fruited for us. We've got a cherry tree, and so that was a really cool spot for us to get some unique gifts that fruit throughout the year.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Michelle is soliciting herself to date Slater. Michelle,
Whoa.
love it.
Melissa's in charge of all the dates.
Send Melissa an email.
I accept Chipotle gift cards if you want to date us later.
Is that where we're going?
No,
going to Chipotle?
No, that's for me.
Service
I need to be bribed to set you up.
Wow.
I hope you guys all have a good Thursday and a good weekend. Anyone do the Daytona 500? The races have been going on all week. That's
Luke
been
Combs.
fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Luke Combs on Sunday.
Oh, also we're doing a sweet and sour weekend. So, if your date doesn't go so well on Sunday, you can go with the cheating songs that we'll be playing.
Yeah.
So like happy
well,
love songs, and then like I
Not
hate
so-
you. I
yeah,
just keyed
yeah.
your car,
Back to
Carrie
back.
Underwood.
Because
Before
we realized
Yeah.
not everyone likes Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, as a matter of fact, so if you're spending any time in Orlando during this Valentine's and you have an ex that you hate and cannot stand, Madame Tussauds Museum, which is the wax museum there on iDrive, which is our big tourist area. I mean, forget it. You go to iDrive, you're going to be there for a long time, only because there's so much to do and you're going to want to do as much as possible. But Madame Tussauds will shred your ex's photo and you get free entry.
Which we were talking about. Like, can't you just print a picture off of someone on the internet and be like, this is my ex?
Imagine it's that person's brother.
Imagine
What?
Beth,
Oh my God.
he's at Daytona 500, the pre-show race.
Yeah.
So it will be televised if you don't have tickets to the race.
Yeah, 1:00.
And the pre-concert's televised, or is that okay? Awesome.
Yeah.
So you will be able to drink in the safety of your own home and
Watch cars go
watch
in a circle for
watch a Luke Combs show.
Over and over.
All right. Okay. Let's be respectful of everybody's time. You guys have been amazing. Thank you again for joining us. Of course.
Gotta huddle.
Oh,
Yeah. Jared Reynolds, it's good to see you. Beth, Shannon, Michelle, Meg, we always appreciate you. For those of you who are jumping in here and in the
I
chat,
didn't see any of the other moms today.
you
Just
got,
my mom.
yeah, Meg is Ashley's mom.
Yep. She had Charlie, my dog, groomed last night, and she looks so good.
The cutest
Little fluff ball. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. You're
See
the
what I
best,
mean?
Mimi.
See what I mean about family? Like, this is so cool. Like, this is an opportunity where even our parents are fans of what we get to do for a living, and we appreciate that. So we share that with you guys because it's all family here. All right. So with that, hands in the middle.
All right.
We started this a long time ago. It's pretty silly, but I know where you are. You're gonna do it too, right? I can feel
Stop
it.
doing that.
What is the matter?
Oh, there's your
Touching
mom.
your
It's
fingers.
ticklish.
There's my
Oh my
mom.
God. All right. On the count of 3, hey, to your love, health, peace. For those of you who are going to be celebrating Valentine's.
Hey, Obi, does it tickle?
Oh my
See what I'm
God.
I see
Hold
what
on,
you're,
look
I
at-
see what
look
you're
at it,
doing.
look at it.
Try to
Like
go
we're
to
tickling.
the
He
middle.
talked about
Go
his
to your-
ball
go to
wash
the
this
corner.
morning.
Go to the corner.
Why'd you got to bring that up?
On the count of 3, ball wash.
I
to the
try,
corners,
y'all.
guys.
1, 2, 3, ball wash.
Hey,
I was the only one.
scrub a dub.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Have a great Valentine's.